going for a walk. It's nice and sunny out here today, and thought I'd take a walk and bring you with me. It's kind of hard to walk with my hands stretched out in front of me like this. Maybe if I do this way, you get a little bit of me and a little bit of the scenery. How y'all been doing? I've been doing better. People are playing tennis. Or that might be pickleball. I never tried pickleball. But it sort of looks like a version of ping pong and tennis. Ping pong meets tennis. Trying to get more exercise. My daughter had to run an errand, and I said I'd like for her to drop me off here at the park, and I'll walk around. I don't know if I can do twice before she comes back, but for sure once. And get in some exercise whenever I don't have a headache or something to hold me back that day. I'm gonna try my best to walk. I've been working on a project, painting end table in my apartment. I saw this idea on Pinterest years ago where they don't paint the sides of the table and they don't paint the front of the drawers, but they paint everything else. So the top, the legs, trim, all of that. And then you take a contact paper, or you could use a wallpaper, but contact paper would be easier. And you put that on the sides of the drawer, and then you put that on the front of the drawer. So I gotta take the handles, the hardware off, put it on the front of the drawer, and then put the hardware back on. And it was really nice. I liked the way it looked. The examples, the contact paper was very loud and bold. And I have a contact paper like that I put into the back of my curio cabinet, the back wall of my curio cabinet, but I used it all up for that. And I had another wallpaper, or another contact paper that I had bought a couple of years ago, intending to use it for this project, but it's kind of tame. It's like a beigey cream with a soft gray print. And now I kind of wish I had that loud wallpaper, but I'm trying to be on a budget and not necessarily buy things I don't actually need. I have this whole roll of contact paper, so I might as well use it. If I don't like it, I can always take it off at some point and put something bolder on there. And I want to make I think I'm just going to do a YouTube short. It's getting harder and harder to get a lot of people to watch a long form video. Seems like I have better luck with my shorts. Even when I make my shorts over a minute, it seems like I don't get as many views. So I think people just like to come in for that 1 minute, see something, and move on. I got these tennis shoes on. My mom bought me these tennis shoes. They were the last Christmas gift that I got from her. before she passed away. I don't wear them super often because I want to make them last. And I wasn't expecting to go for a walk today, so I put them on. But that's okay. I'm glad I have them on. They're not the most comfortable. I just put some Dr. Scholl cushions in them. And that helped a little bit because I've had them now. My mom passed away in 2017. So I've had them for quite some time. They're getting a little tired. This is one of our, it's a tech school. They used to teach nursing over there, but I don't think they do anymore. They used to have adult enrichment classes over there too, but they don't seem to have much of those anymore since COVID hit. A lot of things that went away during COVID, they didn't bring them back after COVID. There was a place closer to Little Rock where you could go and learn to take upholstery, furniture upholstery. And I have been wanting to take that class for years, like we're talking probably 10 years now. And during COVID, I called to find out if they had it, you know, because everybody had so much free time on their hands, but they stopped it. And then when COVID was over, they only seemed to have it for military personnel because it's on the military base, and they weren't offering it to civilians anymore. And I called a couple of times after that, and each time they were so unclear about whether or not they were offering it to civilians anymore. No one could seem to give me the answer for that. Kind of gave up. But it is something I should probably try to look into again. Now that I'm feeling better, I love to be creative. I love to just paint furniture, and since I'm in an apartment, I can't paint the walls or anything, do anything drastic. But I have to get my creativity on in different ways. Look at the beautiful trees. That's one thing about Arkansas I really like, is they have so many trees everywhere you look. And in Arkansas, there's a lot more small towns, so there's way more opportunities to plant lovely trees. And when the breeze is blowing like that, it's so pretty. I just find beauty in the little things. So nice. My daughter's supposed to pick me up right over here, and I don't see her car, so I guess that means I can do one more round. Being kind of ambitious today. Doing 2 rounds. This sort of makes me think of a weeping willow tree. I haven't seen a weeping willow tree. The very last time I've seen one in person, when I went to New Orleans, which was like back in 2004 or 2005, they had the most beautiful, gigantic trees there. I mean, the trees were so thick and wide, there's no way you could wrap your arms around them. They had been there for hundreds of years. And they had beautiful weeping willows. I always wondered when Hurricane Katrina came through, I always wondered if the trees, all those beautiful trees, had survived. Because that was like one of the best parts about going to New Orleans, was just seeing all those beautiful trees. But when I was growing up as a kid, they had weeping willows in our neighborhood. And we would run under there, and the leaves would kind of blow, and we'd be under the tree watching the leaves blow. It was really nice. I miss those days when I was a kid. They had a lot of plants back then that people just, I guess, stopped planting as the times changed. They used to always have these little white flowers that were shaped like a bell. They were tiny though. They were like really, really small. And they were close to the ground. And I don't know what they called those, but I loved those flowers. They were always so pretty to me. And we had lots and lots of lilac trees in Minnesota. Well, in my neighborhood. Everywhere we went, there were lilac trees. And it's like I can smell it right now. It's like I can smell the lilacs right now, just remembering it. It was so fun. That's probably some of the best times of my whole entire life, is running free in the neighborhood as a kid, because I had a bicycle that was like my car, and I had a large group of friends in the neighborhood, and we would run around. We would catch turtles. One time we were building a tree house in my backyard, because we had kind of a low tree, kind of like the height of this tree, but it had some like open spaces between the branches, and we found some wood from a construction site. I think it was like they were taking down something, and we got some old wood and we started building a tree house, and we used to have so much fun. We would, every so often, our parents wouldn't know this, but every so often we would ride our bicycles across the highway. There was a highway not too far from where we lived, and the wind almost blew my hat off my head. And we would go over to the railroad tracks that were on the other side of the highway, and we would see these huge catfish. They were so big, in a little creek. It was like a creek. And we would stand there and watch the catfish. I think sometimes we threw rocks into the water. And there was a railroad track there, and I guess that was in the 70s. And so you always would hear about hobos riding the trains from one town to another. So we would be so like scared and daring each other. You know, I dare you to go over to the railroad tracks. And if our parents knew we were doing that, they would have had a fit. But we didn't stay real long. We'd probably stay over there for like an hour or something, and then we'd ride back across the highway and come back to our neighborhood. But it just felt so free, and it felt so fun. It felt so carefree. And we just ran around, and we just were like having the best times of our lives. Go in the house, have some lunch, use the bathroom, come back outside. Have to come back in when the street lights come on. Time to come in for the night. Kids today don't get to enjoy that kind of life. Maybe in some small towns they still can, but I think for the most part, kids today don't get to enjoy that kind of fun the way that we did, us baby boomers and beyond. But I don't know. Just being out here and walking in nature has just made me think about all those good times I used to have. You remember any of that fun stuff you used to do when you were a kid? I remember going to the state fair every year, and they used to have bucket old fries. And I would love that. It was my favorite, because French fries to this very day is like one of my favorite foods. I have this thing about potatoes. I love potato chips. I love French fries. I love a baked potato. But I'm not that crazy about a mashed potato. I'll eat it sometimes, once in a while, but I prefer the other types of potatoes. But I would be so excited to go to the state fair and get my bucket old fries and a corn dog, cheese on a stick. Oh, and I used to love, the pork chop on a stick. I mean, I wouldn't even eat like hardly anything the day before, because I would have to prepare myself for the marathon of eating I was going to do at the state fair. And I would have pineapple on a stick. Oh man, He's so well. And one time Dolly Parton was at the State Fair and she was giving a concert. Back then, tickets to go to see a performer at the State Fair was super duper cheap. Probably like, I don't know, $5 or $10. It wasn't much money at all. And my best friend from high school and I, we bought our ticket and we went and saw the one and only time I got to see Dolly Parton perform live. It might have been during her 9 to 5 days when she had that TV series out, or her Kenny Rogers time. I think it was maybe right before her Kenny Rogers time when she was doing the duets with him. But I was excited. I liked her, but I became more of a fan as I got older. But I really did like her quite a bit at that time. Oh, I see my daughter's back. Look at that. Yeah, I timed this perfectly. I did 2 rounds. Well, I hope you enjoyed walking with me and talking with me. I did enjoy doing that with you. And I'm trying to go a little faster now, so I'm getting out of breath. I got to get back in shape because it's been, I just haven't been able to consistently do things. So anyway, thanks for walking with me. Maybe we should do this more often. A walk in and talk. If you have a question that you'd like me to answer, you can put it in the comments. And the next time I do my walk and talk, I can answer the question. But anyway, hope you have a blessed day, a beautiful day. And show kindness to yourself and show kindness to others. And I will see you on the flip side. Bye-bye.